Welcome to this week's edition of the Arena Sports Show. My name is Helge Schütz. Well, we've got a jam-packed show today, so let's get starting with soccer. And African Stars were crowned the Debmarine Namibia Premiership champions after winning their final match 6-1 against Young Brazilians on Saturday. Well, after that match, I spoke to their chairman, Patrick Kauta, who tells us more about their campaign.
Well, it's a very grateful moment, a very reflective moment in the sense of where we come from. But the journey to restoring Namibian football is greater and far ahead. But we are grateful for the opportunity to try and do that.
Right, and what a way to finish their 6-1 win against Young Brazilians. So tell us a bit about your whole season. Were you happy with you had a fantastic run, losing just one match. So how was the whole season for you?
The difficulty about speaking about the season is one has to get back to how it started. And particularly if one draws back to 18 October, we had to make hard decisions at African Stars whether we participate in this league or forfeit the whole league. Ultimately, with serious discussions from all stakeholders, our patron, Deputy Chief Justice Damase, the management and the board of African Stars, we decided to participate in it. But we were going to participate in it to try and win it in order to participate in Africa, which we're going to do. It's a season of up and down in terms of it's possibly the first season where our greater financial input into the season was higher than previously before. But our supporters were fabulous from game one. When we opened against UNAM, we took that game as a cup final. We had to win it. But yes, we are now here, and apart from the Blue Waters game, I think the technical staff, the players have acquitted themselves very well with the assistance of our supporters. I don't think we would have been able to do this without our supporters, for whom we are forever grateful.
Well, as the Namibian club champions, African Stars, of course, will now be able to compete in the African Champions League next season. So I asked Kauta how he rated their chances.
Well, the difficulty in Champions League is we haven't played football in a long time in this country. So as we are now, we are trying to strengthen. This team will be strengthened. We have sent our coach. He hasn't been here for the last 3 games. He's in Zambia trying to up his qualifications and also seek to strengthen the team. But we are confident. This is possibly, in my experience at African Stars since 1996, the best squad we've ever assembled. And we are quietly confident that a Namibian team, which must be African Stars, must get into the group stages, be it the Champions League or the Confederations Cup for the first time. And we're quietly confident we can.
Well, with the Debmarine Namibia Premiership now finally over, let's take a look at the final log standing as well as Saturday's results. Moving on to women's football, and Turam Magic opened up a 9-point lead at the top of the F&B Women's Super League log after winning both their matches over the weekend. Let's take a look at all the weekend's results and the latest log standing. On Saturday, Turam Magic beat Beauties 3-1, and after the game I spoke to Turam Magic winger Tomalina Adams, so let's take a look.
It was very exciting. We actually thought it's going to be very tough like last time. In the first leg it was a real derby. We played 3-4. We managed to make it 3-4 in the 89th minute. So we really came out this time with no underestimating our opponents and wanting to go in with a full result, which is a win. And we managed to do so with the hard work and by playing our type of football.
Right, but it was very close till the end, and the winning goal's only in the last few minutes. So did you think you'll get that win?
Yeah, I knew we will get it. The reason why is because most of the teams they lack concentration into the last few minutes, and that's the time when we capitalize on that.
Okay, great. Now, how important is this win for you in the title race?
It was very important because we are on top, but with goal difference, we are lagging behind. So it was a must win for us today, so we can stay on top of the log.
And you think you'll win that title?
There's no doubt about it. We came here to win, and that is what we are going to do because that is our focus 100%.
Well, after that match, I also spoke to Fiona Flitter of Beauties. Well, she's fast making a mark as the top striker in the league. She currently leads the goal scorers charts with 42 goals. But besides that, she's also a great rugby player, and in fact, shortly after that game, she rushed off to the Helge Rugby Stadium to play for UNAM against United. But after that match for Beauties, let's hear what she had to say.
Unfortunately, we planned the game, but we didn't maintain it, so that's it.
Yeah, but you had a good game scoring a goal. How do you feel about your game?
Yeah, I feel good about scoring that goal, and it was a great game actually, but we didn't maintain the pressure and the high intense of the game, but I promise next time.
Yeah, but now losing that game, how does that put you in the title race? Do you think you can still win the league?
I don't I think I will just fight for my team to be in the top 5.
Okay. Now Fiona, tell us a bit about your great goal scoring. You now already scored 35 goals, top of the log. So how do you feel about that?
I feel very great. As I mentioned before, I didn't score that goals alone. I was with my team. My team was behind me. Yeah.
Right, and the record apparently is 55 by Anashi Kusho. Do you think you can reach that?
I can reach it. I'm not afraid of anything.
Great. Now Fiona, you're also a rugby player. In fact, you told me you're rushing off now to play for UNAM. So tell us a bit about your rugby.
Yeah, rugby is it's also another game. That one you have to have speed, you have to have strength to play. I'm not afraid of any big player. As I'm small here, I can do whatever there.
Great, and which one do you prefer, rugby or soccer?
I prefer both.
Okay, good luck. Well, as I mentioned, Viola then rushed off to the Helge Stadium to represent UNAM in a rugby match against United. Well, that was also a great match and ended in a 13-all draw. And after the game, I spoke to Faith Chambari of UNAM and Siobhan de Klerk of United. So let's take a look.
It was a very good game. The ladies were very strong. United was strong. We were strong. We were both very competitive. We were putting it all out there. We were really trying our best, and they were trying their best. Amazing scrums, amazing lineouts, amazing tackles, mutual respect for one another. We did great from our side.
So, how does this result affect the lock positions and the title race?
It's definitely going to be a tough one with United. I can see that the ladies are very, very prepared, but we're also very prepared, so I don't think it will really affect us that much.
So you think you can win the title?
We will definitely. It's not even something to debate about. We're definitely winning this one.
Great, well done.
Thank you.
Right, well, we've also got Siobhan of United. How was the game for you?
It was very tough. I got hit.
I can see,
yeah.
wow.
It was very hard. Everyone was attacking wise very good, defensive very good, and really enjoyed it because it was a match to remember. It was top of the table clash to see who comes up on top.
Right, and this result, Siobhan, how does it put you on the log, and do you think you can win the title?
Yeah, if we meet each other again at the finals, it will be a very good game because we are looking forward to meeting each other again.
We're still on rugby, and the Windhoek Draft Witches beat the Kenyan Simbas 35-28 in an exciting Mzansi Challenge match on Saturday. The Witches streaked into a 21-0 lead after about 15 minutes, but the Simbas produced a fine comeback, drawing level at 28-all before Johan Luther scored a final try there to clinch the match for the Witches. Well, after the game, I spoke to national coach Alistair Coetzee. Let's hear what he had to say.
It was an entertaining game, very, very entertaining match, I must say. I want to give credit to the Kenyans for coming back. We were off to a very, very good start, off to a flyer this time. 21-7 in the first, 30, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. So there are little things that, while building our system, little things that still counting against us, where we concede unnecessary penalties, where we're not accurate in a set piece. So therefore, we couldn't build on the 21 or the 14-point lead that we've had. And then simple turnovers, simple basics like missing a kickoff, just a simple catch and we knock it on. And by all those little mistakes, we let the Kenyans back into the game, but credit to them, they really stuck to their guns and they did well. So this is a process where our players, had a lot of near losses, close losses, but this time they could, get out of jail with a win, and which is good for the confidence, which is good going forward. So I'm really pleased with the performance today.
Right, and as we know, there's of course all a build-up towards the international season and the World Cup later this year. So do you think any of these local players have stuck their hands up maybe for international call-ups?
Well, we have still 2 games to be played against the Boland and Eastern Province Elephants. So yes, look, I'm so happy with the exposure that the local players got up until now. There are certain players who are really growing in confidence, and play like Dankelberger is just growing in stature, whether it's at 12 or at 10 today, and I think a lot of people were surprised with his selection at 10, but at 12 is as good as at 10. It's just one pass away, and that's how Dan Carter, Michael Cack became world-class players, because they know how to handle the pressure at 10 and 12, and he was outstanding today. So yes, a player like Helene Bekkers, Nico Martens, Mapisa, Peter Diergaard, Johan Litter, these guys have all grown, Vickers Jacobs as well, so I'm pretty happy with the growth in the team and where we are at this point in time. So these guys have got a lot to play for. The door still wide open.
And in more rugby news, Trustco United stayed at the top of the Namibia Premier League after beating UNAM 44-24 on Friday. Well, after that game, I spoke to United captain Elof du Plessis. So let's hear what he had to say.
Oh, it was tough. We had a good start, and then UNAM put on the pace on the sideline. Sharif very fast, putting us under pressure there for a few minutes, even for the first 20 in the second half. But I'm proud of the boys. They pulled through at the end. So yeah, it was tough, but we pulled through. I'm very proud of the boys.
Great, Elof, and you guys are actually leading the log. So how do you feel about your log position now?
Yeah, it feels nice to be on top, but now everybody's has it in for us now. So it's tough. With every win comes more responsibility, keeping our position. So, but we're up for it. So we worked last year, was not a good year, but yeah, we almost have the same players, 1 or 2 changes, but we are gelling as a team, and I think we can keep it up. I'm positive for the rest of the season.
Right, it's still early days.
Yes.
But do you think you can be title contenders?
Wanderers is always tough. Derby is at their home ground this year, so it's always tough. And but I think we have a chance to win. Why not?
Right, moving on to indoor hockey, and DTS moved further ahead on the Women's Premier League log after beating Windhoek Old Boys 5-0 last week. After that game, I spoke to DTS coach Melissa Gillies, so let's hear what she had to say.
It was quite tough in the beginning. The previous game that I watched between them and Saints, the team looked completely different. So that also was a bit of a restructuring or reshuffle from our side. We had to make some adjustments at halftime. I think Pia and Berentia were really sort of keeping the defense together. Pia was very creative out the back and setting up all their go forward. So we tried to cut her out in the second half. As soon as the ball switched across to the right side, we tried to make sure that they couldn't find her again. And that effectively sort of crippled them coming out the back. They threw a lot of loose passes. We capitalized on that and then set up our go forward from there. I just said to my ladies after the game, it took a while to get the result, but what I'm most proud of is that they were very disciplined and they stuck to the goals for the game in terms of how we wanted to play, the shape we wanted to hold, how we wanted to press them. So I thought it was a very, very disciplined performance from my ladies. So very happy for the 5-0.
Right, and you guys are still actually unbeaten and you're top of the log, so how do you see the title race going?
I think there's still a lot of games to play. Saints is going to be a tough game. All Boys, I think they're missing a few players tonight. They're a really, really good side. Wanderers for me are the surprising team at the moment. I think they've stepped up beautifully. Our last game against them, although the scoreline perhaps doesn't show it, I thought that it was an incredibly good performance compared to their first performance. Much more structured. They were stringing together some beautiful passes. They held their shape very, very well. So they're also a side that's developing. I think that it's more than likely looking like it's stacking up between ourselves and All Boys and Saints, but there's still quite some games to play, so I'm not quite sure where this is all going to end, but we'll definitely come out guns blazing for the next one.
The Bank Windhoek Ramblers Under-21 soccer competition continued over the weekend, with Ramblers and Swallows taking the lead in Group A and B respectively. In Group A, Ramblers thumped Fortis Football Academy 6-2 to go to the top of the log on 6 points, while Athletic Club Football Academy beat Kaizen Football Academy 1-0 and are now second on the log on 3 points. In Group B, Swallows remained at the top of the log on 4 points, despite being held to a 2-2 draw by SKW. They are followed by Kasahona Football Academy on 3 points, while Nawab Colts and DTS, who play to a 2-2 draw, are both on 1 point on the log. And finally, let's take a look at some sport shorts over the weekend. In boxing, Namibia's Philippus Energy in Gitumbwa put up a fine performance against former 3-time world champion John Real Casemiro in Manila, Philippines on Friday night before losing on a unanimous points decision over 12 rounds. In schools hockey, Windhoek Afrikaans Privaat School or WAP and St. Paul's won the boys and girls titles at the annual Commonwealth Hockey Championships on Saturday. St. Paul's won the girls' final for the second year in a row after beating Windhoek Gymnasium 3-0 in the final. In the boys' final, WAP beat private school Swakopmund 4-0 after leading 3-0 at half-time. Rosalinda Matjai of Aqua Swimming and Fitness Club was the star swimmer at the first Namibian Short Course Gala in Windhoek over the weekend, when she set 4 new records in the girls 11 to 12-year-old category. Robin Engelhardt and Nico Esslinger of Dolphins also set new boys age group records. Moving on to golf, and Todd Parker won the Namibian Junior Open Championships at the Rossmond Golf Club over the weekend after completing the 54-hole event with a total of 232 shots. Kyle Johnson came second on 235, while Nelson Johannes came third on 254. In more golf news, Alfie Nyenge won the individual Stableford Club competition at the Winter Golf Club on Saturday with a total of 42 points, while Mike Beavis came second on 39 and Vessel Lowe third on 37. Alfie is seen here on the photo with Winter Golf Club captain Gustav Jung. Namibia's national wrestling team received its national colours at the Namibia Sport Commission on Friday before leaving for Hammamet in Tunisia to compete at the African Wrestling Championships from 15 to 21 May. Well, those championships start tomorrow, so good luck to all our wrestlers. And that brings us to the end of today's show. I hope you enjoyed it. From me, Helge, it's goodbye till next time.